Jackie Joaquin.
Hi, my name is Marcela Enos, and I voted.
I voted here today in the
We have
district of
Gloria
Zapote.
Thomas
and Ms. Thomas, you are here
for the election
here in the
for
community of
Civoidet.
for the next chairman and vice chairman of the Tohono Nation.
Yes.
And so again, just one quick question: have you been able to go out and listen to the candidates give their platform speeches? And if so, could you give some comments on all three candidates who are running for the chairmanship?
Well, I've been to every single one only because my husband's running for chair for the position also. But I have to say, after hearing all of them, their platform was something that we do need. We do need a change here at Civoidet. So they were all pretty good. They were all positive.
And your husband is?
Delbert Thomas.
I was referring to the chairmanship of the nation.
Oh, the nation.
Yes.
Oh, I've been to them too, and I think that it's kind of, I'm still haven't really decided yet to like go in there. I've kind of wandered. They're both the two that I've heard. Well, they all have positive input, and I think that.
What is one main issue that you have?
Well, here in our district, I know that we have a lot of issues with the judicial, with the police department, and I did hear, that they were going to try to work on that to try to make sure that we get that service, because that's really lacking in our district, because we're on the northern end, and when we have issues with involve the law enforcement, it's a slow process.
And the issue is?
Anything that has to do with law enforcement. If we have incidents in the communities like fights or in domestic violence or something like that, it takes a while before the police department gets here.
Has this thought been something like perhaps maybe a substation that the nation would look at in terms of a substation?
We do have a substation here in North Komelik, but it's not really serving the purpose. So, we did hear that in the campaign to maybe reinforce it with manpower or
we
or
have a
something
young
like
lady, and your name is?
Annalise Lewis.
Ms. Lewis, we are in the community of Silpoidak, or the district of Silpoidak. Have you gone to the voting polls yet?
Yes.
And again, what was your reason? How important was it for you to come out and take part in this election?
It was really important to me for my decision who I wanted to vote for, because I know several of the candidates that actually are running, and my main concern was how the candidate that I voted for, the candidates, how important it was that, that they're there for the people, that they listen to concerns, and that was mainly what my focus was on voting for the candidates.
And so were you able to attend the candidates' platform political forums when they were out here on the nation with the campaign platform speeches?
No, I wasn't, because I'm not really into that kind of politics where, you're going to go and sit and hear the candidates. Like I said, I'm just mostly more concerned of if they're there for the people, if they're working hard for the community, if they're trying to, actually just be there for the community, hearing their concerns. My mother needed help. All I had to do was just call over here, and they were able to help. So.
And so you live?
I live in Casa Grande.
Casa Grande.
Mm-hmm.
So you're an urban autumn.
Right.
Okay.
And
so real quick question. Okay, you're an urban autumn tribal member. Do you feel that the nation as a whole is addressing your issues because of you're an urban autumn?
Living off of the reservation, it's really hard, because you want so much to know about what's going on, and you really can't, because you're living off. So you're living out there, and then when you come onto the reservation, it's just
really
like a whole
difficult.
different story at times, when you don't really know until you hear it out somewhere else. So it's like, oh.
So is it safe to say that you would like tribal leaders to go off the reservation so that you or any other urban Autumn can meet and see who the tribal leaders that are representing you as an Autumn person?
Right. That would, be really a really good idea to do, because there's more people that live out in Phoenix and, people that live up north too that, that are out there.
And you know what's good about it is that you mentioned that and that's why it's important. You live off the reservation.
Right.
You mentioned that you're here and you've also participated in this election, and that I think is important. Not only this election is,
Right.
even though you don't live on the reservation.
Right.
So, is there anything that would you like to share with the audience?
Concerning the whole
The elections or anything that you are aware of that's going on within your own respective community. You mentioned your family that lives here. I'm sure there's some other issues that you would like to see addressed.
Mostly for the youth. And when I was growing up, when I grew up in Chuchu, we had, lots of activities going on for the youth. And now, like, nowadays, there's nothing there. And now these kids are getting into trouble. And I remember going to these DJ dances, like, every now and then. And, just doing stuff. But we don't even have that anymore. And I don't really see it, going out to different parts of the villages. I know they have like little basketball tournaments and things going like that for the youth, but other than that, I from growing up back then to now, it's like mostly all the communities are not really a whole. What I've noticed. I mean, I don't know any other communities, but other than that, it was. I mean, I would really like to see more things going on with the youth.
Well, I want to thank you for allowing us.
Thank you.
Cứ ô cho mà tập hay chơi các cái nó phải mà sama chú sự cho có cho mà sớm chú ai mà samo có cho là cứ mà cầm hao cho mà cứ rồi hết cái mà samo ha chú cho Tohono some nations chairmanship ba mas mà yêu cái legislative council nhà sắp chưa kita cái
Sally Osigera.
Osekera Maksumus maksamuki others afi.
How?
Sapi masma pani is a maskamo pamumu machuksan nation's chair.
Manya chumas mamani matuas amosi oya ke mohas choni a ken oya pot toy. Matama bojo ke ga momoya cho te ge mat che taicho. Matama bojo it adam chot a kem o tam tribe.
No mai chu ti si hu ke ma pam chu masas chu ma masa mo inu ich ka chip kan it ma skuli do masa mo itasio.
Moi hai cho mio da cho manget pa de only mag amosi moti ni de matama bojo hai cho. Moi hai cho mo thia cho magem taicho mastoy ni a che miam. Machat cho ka Detroit in San Jose. Mastoy to takat.
Moi chu ko sam yahu am just mo chu có some yahu amateur san lucy some more muy cha masma pani có some ít some yahu ai có mo ai có một hapiona ka mo sisuam pe mu hai cho ma pachung him am hau chỉ có some yahu san lucy some sharp pi early thuke
How na pi agam kanyam ni mo muy hai cho mo pi mu bar pi praise cho ni mi tam mo pi cho ma to ai hamo chama ma perske chui kai cho ma cham cho tei cho it ada chuk sa pa pe prai awa ha pe kai jen ma tam ta be cho ma ta ni ko pe mo borai a cho kama pa chui kai cho nya mo tam se ni tam ma so ma bo cho ha ma cha cho tei cho chap cho ma ta mo ni ta boi to ta am ji ta it ada chuk sa
que mom si busca am humus casinos mas mo kama ama nyo in humus kama chmui chma pe ma chai mas sra mas amni ke amamu chi so amahu chi ko sam masabosa chu masabosi e musu pe mas ke pa pio hiu Tohono so maksan lucy masamu mo ki casino ame glende osam.
Manya cuman mamnin maturo itu taka mata bojo mon habi wa en ai ko mon cuk jaka kasi sura itu tak aci mo tak jada mai semah man strike man deke ta ame kamu ak marata kai si strike cuma tapi en kami homo cut cut po cut pik cut po ketas puano matapi mo bihe ke aita matapa pihi matapi tua sit kapita iha danya mo
Kagap papa aga te masta mukyo toa ka Amerikana ka real masta mo hau masta ka mo masta ksuza ka hi nya ko
kanya
tam
pa
uta hukyo masta ka amukyo hanora sa Tohono examination ka ju pasino mo masum sia mas ma po ju masta ma ko ju ka ki wa ma kia ju lo sam
ka manya mo panyin matakit ama po ya jon mo pa tek jo ko ta ka mya ja takit ama po ya jo ka ta
apa itu mahomo sa mo pa mau te Alexander Lucy pa mas ma tas mas puji do itu mas ma mo nu ka chipkan
na dat pag ang sinyi tage matoni matamo nyu ko ta ma po jo hawa je ta ko che chama ka je ta mo ta masa ge ti jam je da hai je ta ke ta ta chum si sinyi ta hai chak je mi pa wo sa wo je da ko ta mi pe je mi ma ta je mo do ma to do wo tak mo po na so dai ha
no mai chu ti hu ke na shikuma ma sur je ha ku itu ma chair hu ku ke ma sta no po oi po tu pa na sa ke ko tam mo po mas pasi mas mo po nu ka chipkan no mai chu ti hu ke ma chum stream pa wo hu ke mas puji do itu
makanya mabaya ga ge manyam sinyi ta mata moi oi ta chik pan mon ta ke din oi po tam mi ani go ka po de moi ga go ka moi oi ta chik pa ta ma pai cho bo chi ha oi ma tin oi
porque oi ke am ke pu chu ma pu je tu na ko ma ka ko ma ni
ani che ke sale o se gera ka yo ki ka mi san rosi wo cho wa ka ha kyu te che wo ka mo che pa che san rosi
porque district office and just asking for some comments based on this election that's being held 2011 for the next chair and vice chair of the Tohono Nation. And so, young lady, your name, please.
Marcinda Celaya.
Miss Salaya, you have you voted?
Yes, I did.
And so, have you been able to listen to the candidates throughout the nation who have been campaigning and giving their platform speeches?
Yes, I have. I've heard several of them on the radio station.
And so, out of are we talking about the chairman and vice chairman candidates who are running?
Just the chair positions.
And so, is there anything that you've heard from these candidates that stand out in their platform speeches that they've been given?
The one thing that really stands out for me was Vivian Juan Saunders and her campaign to fix the roads, the BIA roads. I believe that they've been neglected for a long time, and that it is true that it's a wear and tear on our personal vehicles and tribal vehicles, and I would like to see a change in that.
Now, are we? Of course, all the roads are being used by non-tribal members as well, and
Yes.
so what's your thinking or your feeling about these other individuals who are utilizing these roads on the nation? Do you feel that they also should be providing some funding to pay for these roads that you spoke about?
I think they should. We're all out here using it, and wherever we can get funding, that would help a lot.
What we have out here is, of course, the U.S. Border Patrol,
Yes.
U.S. Customs. We have a number of buses that come out here who provide the transportation for those migrants who are eventually going to be deported to
Mhm.
the respective countries. Now, do you feel as though that they play a big part in as far as paying for the roads that need to be repaired? Again, they are utilizing all these roads on the nation.
And they do, but I would, like to see. I believe they'll be up to, you know, whoever's in that position to decide where the money should come from to pay for it.
There's been a number of issues that have come out from all three of the candidates about the services that are being provided. We've heard the candidates talk about technology, education, economic development, housing, of course, Indian gaming. What's your opinion about the Indian gaming for the nation is looking at a fourth casino? What's your thinking about that?
I'm not really for the new casino because, I mean, I haven't really heard anything regarding, like how we're gonna do, I guess more like the security part of it being, you know, it's gonna be part of the nation, and that's gonna mean that we're gonna have to deploy some of our police officers out there, and it's gonna take away from, the nation.
Now, as far as your legislative council representatives, and only because they need to provide all that information to the district that you're a member of. So, has there been any discussions that you're aware of in terms of how they support, if not, if they do support or not support the sports casino that's in question right now?
I'm not aware of the where they're at on those concerns.
The other thing is the per capita payment. Is that something that, because again, gaming revenues is where the per capita payout, the monies are coming from. What's your thinking about a payout, $2,000 payout?
Well, I've heard a lot about it on, the Facebook, and a lot of people are asking who is gonna be, in favor of giving the nation another payout, and it was there, it's written, and if the money's there, then it should be handed out.
Now, Vivian Saunders in the political forum in South Arizona just this past week stated that the nation is in a $7 million deficit. The chairman of the nation takes issue with that. So what's your thinking about that?
Mm, I'm not really familiar with that.
Because there again, if in fact there is a $7 million deficit, and the chairman of the nation is saying, taking issue with that, so my question would be, would you think that where is Vivian Juan Saunders getting her information if the chairman is taking issue with it? Here the chairman is saying that there isn't, because they have curtailed the spending within the nation's budgets.
Well, I think that if it is an issue, then, they should, show us, or, give us the results of it, and, so that the people can see. I know, there's a lot of, you know, where they come up with their results, or they say who says what, and, if that's the case, then, it's who's saying what.
Now we know that come this evening, the polls will close. The tally will be the ballots will be tallied, and then we will know who will be the individuals who will be in the elections come May. Now, should it be the chairman of the nation and Vivian Juan Saunders, do you not feel that, given their platform speeches that they've made, that do you feel that they need to come forward with more information in terms of, as it was said, this $7 million deficit, and if there is, then how would they address that $7 million if in fact there is?
Um, if it is, they need to come out and tell the people, and, show their proofs, and, that's what the people rely on is, their information. And if that's what it is, then they should, address it.
Which means if there is, then there really needs to be a serious look at either a hiring freeze, something that's going to make sure that those individuals who are employed with the nation, that they will not be temporarily not have a job. So I think it's important that that those are the issues that I think are very important, and for the districts as well.
Yes, I believe that's important. And if, if, like I said, if it's so, and, with all the other departments that are, freezing, as well as their, overtime, and, they should really, like, look into that.
And the last thing is that there has always been this issue of the districts to the far west, that the nation as a whole or the government has been neglecting the far west end of the nation in terms of services. What's your thoughts on that? You're a member of we are in the district of Goodwall, and so and Goodwall is to the far west. Do
Hmm.
you do you do you still feel do you still feel that way, that that this west end of the reservation is being neglected by the Tohono Nation's government?
Well, I leave that up to, our representatives. We send our representatives there to represent us, legislative wise, and, whatever the issues are that, I believe that they should be out there, addressing those issues for us. And if, we do feel that we are neglected, then, they need to, voice more of their opinion on what it is that, the people here are voicing to our representatives to take it to the nation's capital.
And so, are you a parent? Are you a student?
No, I'm not a parent, and I'm not a student at
And
this time.
one of the things that came out of the platform platform speeches from the candidates was that, as far as education, and they were talking specifically about the Tohono Community College, that the college is available to all members of the nation. It doesn't make it, there are no age limits, and so is that something that you might be thinking about in terms of going back to school, uh, like the Tohono Community College?
I have thought about going back to school, for a long time, and I know, it's just right there. It's, it's really, um, where we don't have to go far to get an education, and I'm glad that it is there for the people, and, for all ages, because all ages are going to need it. They can get a head start if they choose to go off the reservation and, experience, not being around, just, tribal members.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Again, you are a member of the nation, member of the Goodwater District, and you've casted your ballot. Is there anything that that's important to you that you would like to share with the audience?
Just that the vote, everybody's vote is important, and for everybody to go get out there and vote. There is a lot of issues that need to be addressed, but like I said, all the candidates have their, you know, picks of what they think is important, and which, they're all important, but it's just up to, the individual what they think, what they think is more important.
Well, I want to thank you for allowing us to interview you. And again, it's extremely important that the people here are a member of the nation in terms of how important it is not only to go and cast your ballot to vote, but again also to address those issues that these candidates are speaking to the members of the nation in terms of how they're going to run their administration.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We
you.
have Wilbert Thomas, who is a member of the Chukutku district. Again, Wilbert, You've listened to the candidates as of last week in their platform speeches that was held at the Legislative Council chambers. In your opinion, what did you feel when you've heard all the candidates speak?
I felt that the wrong questions were asked. I think some of the most important things that goes on the nation were kind of like put aside. Yeah, the issues that were brought up were kind of like the future and whatnot. But as far as issues that are now, I would say pressing, and it would have been better that maybe people called in to ask questions or allowed to ask questions there when they were there. That would have been a lot better.
One of the questions that was asked, which is very important, which was the last question that dealt with the international border. You're a member of Chukutku district. You live in the community of Bomari, and you did say that you listened to the candidates speak. Were you satisfied with the response as far as the international border in terms of homeland security?
No, I wasn't happy with the response. I think more needs to be done. There are some things that I think if the Border Patrol would put into act as far as some kind of strategy to secure the border, more so than what they're doing right now, that would be a lot better. But that wasn't, in my opinion, that wasn't mentioned or brought up. So what I heard was what I heard, and it wasn't to me. It wasn't satisfied. I wasn't satisfied with the answers that they gave out.
As we're all aware of, that former chairwoman Vivian Juan Saunders, as well as the chairman of the nation, Nat Norris Jr., has had an opportunity to address this border issue. And again, so are you saying that you weren't satisfied with both the candidates who are seeking, one, the chairman who is seeking re-election, and two, the former chairwoman, Vivian Juan Saunders?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Both of them. I think they should be more in depth. As I said, again, a strategy, formulate a strategy to deal with the international border, plus the border patrol that run out here and seem to do whatever they want to do. That's another thing that needs to be brought out. And I did understand at one time that they were going to bring it up. One of the candidates that you mentioned, I think it was one of the candidates that you mentioned, but I haven't heard anything. So leave it as is for now.
And your comments, as far as there was a lot of discussion about technology, economic development, housing. Those are issues that, as I understand it, as one tribal member a while back said, that these are basically the same issues that are continuously being addressed by tribal leaders and even in the elections. So do you see or hear anything different than these candidates are also once again campaigning on?
A little bit of, especially on the housing. I think one candidate mentioned that more housing needs to be done or put out there for the people, especially the elders. Yeah, it's coming along, but a lot needs to be done.
So should one of these individuals who are running for the chairmanship, what do you foresee in the election, whoever should win this election? What do you foresee and hope that they work towards?
Let me see. What we mentioned earlier. Well, a lot of things actually. Housing, like we mentioned earlier. Borderline, homeland security. I think more recognition for the elders that are out there. Some are, I think, just left out there to defend themselves, and I think more should be um, done for them and taken care of in a way like for the nursing home or somebody as a caretaker. And I think that should be done more so than what's happening now.
Now, in the political forum there at the chambers, the preamble of the Tohono nation was read, and again there was some discussion about the nation being a sovereign nation. Do you feel, as a member of the nation, that the nation is pursuing, as it's been said, that the nation is a sovereign nation, or is that just something, that is spoken about, and not really seeing the tribal leaders really truly work towards that the sovereignty for the Tohono nation?
I think the word sovereignty is just thrown out there whenever it's their benefit. Uh, I think that they need to work more on it to really establish a sovereign nation. Right now, I don't see that. It's not happening. As I said before, they use it at their convenience, and that's not right.
And my last question is related to law enforcement. There's been a lot of tribal members who are still questioning the relationship between the Tohono Police Department and the U.S. Border Patrol, in terms of tribal members who are really questioning the nation's police department in terms of response, the response time. Do you also share those same views?
Yes, the police department and the border patrol, as I understand it, at some point in time they don't really work together. Um, However, I do see the police out there now, running around out in the villages, or not just the villages, but on the outskirts of the villages in the desert. I've seen a couple of them out there before, and I think that's good. I haven't seen police out there in a long time. Now they're coming out there, and now they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and I think they could do more than that. But Border Patrol and PD, Police Department, need to work together more so than what they're doing now.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with the viewing audience? And again, this is an election year, and it's very important. And again, is there anything else that you would like to share with the viewing audience?
Just like you said, it's a election day and whatnot, and I just hope a lot of people come out and vote and be heard and do their patriotic duty to vote. So I hope that happens. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. Good evening. Tohono Communications has been a part of this elections 2011 for the next chairman and vice chairman of Tohono Nations. We are in the Legislative Council chambers here in South Arizona. We have a member of the Tohono Nation,
Mary Jane, one more.
Mary Jane, one more.
Chuktok District, San Isidro Community.
Okay. You've been here all evening. What's your
Pretty
thoughts
much.
on the outcome of the elections?
Well, right now we're just eliminating one, and we still have some more time to really decide how much come out there, So you get busy, get down here, do your voting, go to your districts, your community, get involved, and you have a say in what goes on from here. What say hi to ita waterta. Mu am pitada. Chewam ulit mo to tada ko water. Mat to na otan. Mo hi to game mo oi. What say hi to education. What say hi to how much. So come out and vote.
Mas mamiu water tahumo to Matakanet Norris Jr. along with her running mate Waverly Romero Matakam Hakaguk. Shaka mas mamiu Matakam mas mamiu Itamanet Norris Jr. from just quite a Civilian one Saunders. just like Billman Lopez and Dennis Ramon.
Pemui sita so mas chaka mas mabajo nan pemui chaka how much come on kain but good how much come mat pemu shai si hasa urit these last 4 years pemu shai si ha chukama good how much come and moi hai cho pemu shai si has ko hasi ichunye it seem like mo ite casino am si hoda udah baik mo hai cho yap cho iya tki am mata mo se oi dai ko mo chip chap chap mo mata macam mo idaya kam si segu ko mo tuanya mo hai cho mo oi dai macam ya aga
Tuashui ko masha masman tayo chairman of the nation Norris Junior mas piako sampai itu ekah gap just koya mo sai che masa mo mark tiempo mas sampai itu ekah apa mas na Vivian Juan Saunders apa mas ma mas tuashui kiam mas hai che ekah gap just quarter sta Billman Lopez ke Dennis Ramon amia apche mo masa pas rap yuri take man da mas ma mi usat mas ke mas ma pra ju man da mas ka ke chairman mas pia mas ta thai chai ka vai bas kai ta kam ta pi ko mo tam ta mau ma
no pi dai huge mat tak si wa kam amawa pi huge mat big wa kam mo nyo ka shim huge mat tak wa kam mo aga tamoch and shama chama nyita chuk mat pi hai chum hop shai si ta sho ama bi chu nye anya mum kai ham how much kam mama ke cha si mas ma ama kai mo ke di hai chu so ka dai huge mat tak wa kam abo hi
good to hear ma ya mo ba ko si sa sai tu wa mo ma ko mo ti ha ni sas mas ma mi u ko ta bas pui chu mas ma tu sa to mas ma po ti I tu mo masa ko ma ta pai tu ha ka ka lu pu si to ni de to ka ka ma as I mas ma mo I so no u ni o ko ti ko ma se ma sa ma sai ta ti ma lu ti ko Tohono sa mo ma kan ni ka sa ta ka ma ko porque que mas esqueci isso mas muito outras po
manya e ko ka mata batada tjukshana chaptkia ama akai mo has chur thuge people shai hajiwa ita mo hamo chamata pe mo shai akai masas masama
chairman Norris
how people shai jiwa pa ko Vivian Juan Sanders Delma Garcia mata batata tjukshana ko batata manyapki San Isidro community kagam haba masama waju Billman Jidenas mata batata kokko tjukshana kchaptkia chaba masma has konik kikya matandata everything that chuktak chukshan pak huke mohomo chamta chairman Nat Norris people shai hajiwa
no mai tu ti ke ma chum stream ka phawi ko o tham wa mo chu ma nan ma tam nan ka mai kai da ka khanyo ka om ti ti da oda mas ma pi
dai huge mam tamosi oida kamosi nyita e haicher shacho tamsi tasho sapa mo I junye mamata kya kamosi oida hukabo him mo tai mat se suam am po junye ko chipkan pip shamonyo ka che dai huge
okay. Your name please
Julian Juan.
Julian, you were here throughout this evening, and the results are that Nat Norris Jr. has won the elections, and so he will be facing Vivian Juan Saunders come the primary. As a young person, what's your thoughts on this election and the outcome?
I think it's a really good race, just based on the elections. It looks really tight. It looks like people are ready for a change, are looking to go for it wherever that direction leads. Um, it's really good, but I think, the numbers could be a little better. I think it's really important for people to get out there and vote and have their voices heard, their opinions.
The candidates and the number, Ned Norris Jr. Actually, the number was 257 votes that he was ahead.
Yeah.
Vivian Juan Saunders was 364, and Billman Lopez was just a little less than that. But again, the total votes, as I understand it from asking the election office, that there's over 9,000 registered voters,
Yeah.
and when you look at the numbers, actually 2,500 and so actually participated in the elections. What does that say to the nation as a whole?
I think I wouldn't, just from my perspective, I don't think people are really, I don't know how to say it. It's a really low number compared to the total registered number of voters. I think it could be better, but I can't speak for the rest of the voters.
As a young person, have you attended any of the forums where the candidates came out and gave their platform speeches?
I did. I came for the debate, and I actually attended one that the Youth Council put on the last election. And yes, I've been
In
to
your
a few.
opinion, having heard the candidates, in your opinion, was there something, if anything, that really stood out in terms of what they were raising in their campaign?
To me personally, I really liked the way Vivian Juan Saunders and Delmo Garcia presented their campaign. They both really seem very knowledgeable about the topics they're really wanting to uh, go forward with if they were to win the election. They know what they want to do, how they're willing to go about it, and they present themselves as really knowledgeable.
Tohono Communications has been following this all morning. We went to Silpoidic District, San Lucie District, Isigamoo, and we interviewed young people and elders. And some of the issues that were raised were housing, the casino, gaming, Indian gaming, roads, Tohono Police Departments, and then the international border with the U.S. Border Patrol. But also in all of that, something was very important that was raised in Gilwell District was education in terms of the language. And I know that if you were here last week when the candidate spoke, that was one of the things that was brought out as far as how to address the O'odham language and to protect the O'odham language. And so technology kept coming up. Is that something that you feel as a young person, and of course I'm just assuming that you speak the language, and if not, is that one way that you would see where the language would be able to be learned by all members of the nation?
Personally, yeah, I think technology can open a lot of doors, especially in terms of teaching a language.
Yes.
There are language programs out there based on technology, where you would actually hear the translations of it and be able to pick it up very easily. And I think that's one of the ways we can help to bring back our language and to spread it out. And a good point that most of the candidates made was getting to the children while they're young and helping them, because there's a window of opportunity where they can pick up any language. And I think technology is a really good way. If you look at any children's program, they're very educational, and they do have a lot of opportunities with
And
that.
the last question is your thoughts on that we've made it available. Well, Tohono Communications has made it available to the chairman of the Tohono O'odham Nation as well as Vivian Juan Saunders to be interviewed on camera by Tohono Communications, and they continuously have not responded to an interview on camera so that we can share that with some audience. What's your thoughts on that? Because Billman Lopez and Dennis Ramon were very open to an interview on camera in during the Pistin Mall Day event, which was probably about middle part of February, I believe. What's your thoughts on that?
For me personally, I can't speak for any candidate of their reasons why they wouldn't want to go on to camera. But from what I've seen and places I've gone, I do know that candidate Juan Saunders has been out to the community to present her campaign to the community members. As to the reason why neither candidate would want to go on camera is beyond me.
Right. But do you feel that it's important, again, those tribal members who are not available to attend these public forums or even to their districts, like, for example, the urban population, where I think it's important, especially with the web, those kinds of things, they could actually see the candidates and see them and as well as hear their campaign platforms.
What was the question?
So my question is, what's your thoughts on that? Because again, as you say, you attended those forums and you've heard the candidates, but on your thoughts as far as the candidates actually being on camera so that these individuals can pick up, their campaign speeches on the computer, that.
I think it's a good idea that they could be interviewed, but again, I can't speak for any candidate, their reasons why, but it would be a good way for the community members who can attend the forums or happen to be busy, to hear what they're all about. It would be it sounds like a really good idea to put it out there, but again, I can't speak for any candidate.
Tohono Communications is hosting a political forum on May 20th from 6 to 8 at the Desert Diamond Hotel Casino. We've made that available for the candidates, and so I hope that you come out as a young person, because again, candidates will be out there, and we'll have another opportunity to share their platform speeches again. So I want to thank you for allowing your time to be interviewed, and again, we'll see what the outcome will be come next month.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.